Welcome! It's a great day to be a miner because we got an exciting new piece of hardware to unbox. We're going to unbox this thing, we're going to go over the specs, the features, and then we're going to do a full setup, of course. But before we do that, let's spin that intro. First and foremost, before we tear into this, we have a huge announcement. We have been accumulating all kinds of mining hardware and miscellaneous gaming hardware and computer hardware and tech hardware over the years, and well, we've decided we're going to do some giveaways. We're going to be giving away a bunch of altered components, but we're not actually giving away the hardware. We're going to be reaching out to a number of our YouTube content creator friends, and we're going to have them give away our hardware. So stay tuned for that upcoming. There's gonna be lots of different options and lots of different hardware to give away. But now let's get into today's video. First and foremost, we'll start with the disclaimer before we unbox this guy. I purchased this with my hard-earned crypto. The opinions in this video are that of my own, and this is not a sponsored video. So with that out of the way, let's unbox this thing. I'm sure you already know what it is because you can read the description. Let's unbox this thing and, you know, take a look at it, go over the specs, the features, and all that good stuff, and then let's get it up and mining. So without further ado, you know what time it is. RGB knife engaged, that never gets old. Let's open this guy up and see what's in the box. Pick this up from Bitcoin merch, and first and foremost, we'll just get it out of the way. The price, the total price on this thing is $199.99 USD. You can pick it up from their site. I'll put links down in the description. They have a couple different options, that packages that you could also get with it, but this is just the standard $199 package as anybody would order it from Bitcoin merch. So first and foremost, there must be the main miner. They included another one of these USB fans. I'll add this to our giveaway pile. A power supply, just a standard wall brick type, and a interesting little packet inside. So let's make some space. I'll clean up. Okay, so let's open our power supply. Standard wall type brick. I actually prefer the type that has the two-piece with the brick in the middle. This takes up more space, harder to work around when you have a number of these into your outlet strips, but it is what it is. Let's see what the power supply says. It says it is a 5-volt output and it is 8 amp max. So it doesn't actually tell you the watts. You'd have to do some calculation. Pretty sure this is a 30-watt power supply. And then let's open the little packet first, and then we'll open the main attraction. So in our packet, first and foremost, we got some cool stickers, little man on the moon, a Bitcoin pizza, another Bitcoin logo, and of course a Bitcoin merch sticker. We got another Bitcoin. You know what? We've got a couple of these already. We'll add this Bitcoin to our giveaway pile as well. What do you think? Why not, right? And then we've got a little card that just says, thank you for your purchase. It's our goal to get a 5-star feedback, blah, 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 blah. Contact them if you need any assistance. All right, so let's open the main attraction. Comes in a bubble wrapped envelope. Comes in an anti-static bag, as any sensitive electronic should. And there it is. That is it right there. And there's also a card in here, and that's the same exact 5-star feedback type card. Reach out to customer service. Okay, so what is this? This is the Bitaxe Gamma. It has the 601 logo right on the front instead of, say, the 401 or the 1366. Now that we've unboxed it, let's just do a close-up view of this thing and show you exactly how it looks and do a pretty nice close-up and all that fun stuff, and then we'll dig into it. Let's go. All right, so there it is. It's beautiful. Now, let's talk about this thing. This is the Bitaxe. It says 601 on there. It is called the Gamma. This guy runs 1.2 terahashes. So it is significantly more power than any of the previous models. The previous models were usually running the Supra 401 was running about 600 to 625 gigahash, 650 gigahash. The one before that, the 1366, was running about 400, 425, 450 gigahash, somewhere in that range. So this one is significantly higher performance hash rate. It's running about double of what the 401 was, and it's not double the cost. So that's an important thing to note. This runs 1.2 terahash. It's utilizing a BM1370 Bitmain ASIC S21 Pro single ASIC chip underneath of this nice cooler here. And then, of course, we already mentioned the power supply is a 30 watt, 5 volt PSU. Now, next, let's go over the features on this guy. First and foremost, it's Wi-Fi capable. All these Bitaxes, they use Wi-Fi. They don't have a direct Ethernet type connection. So you do set them up using a mobile device and connecting them to the Wi-Fi network, and then you let them run. Next, it has the nice little OLED display, same as any of your other Bitaxes, just this little screen up here that's about a 1/2 inch wide by about 1.5 inches long lengthwise. And then, of course, it's got that S21 Pro chip, and to cool that, it has a nice aluminum, it's probably about a 1/2 inch aluminum gold heatsink with a upgraded fan mounted on top. So this is interesting. This fan is a 40 millimeter, 40 by 40, but it is a 20 millimeter thick, whereas some other cheaper models may utilize only a 10 millimeter thick, and it does need the upgraded cooling because it is an upgraded higher power chip. So we'll need to, once we get these set up, we'll need to watch the temps on this thing and see if this cooling solution is going to be adequate for this new high powered, way more hash rate type chip. And then the most important feature is that, like many of these Bitaxes, they're very user friendly, pretty easy, simple setup, and they just work. Once you get them set up, you just let them run, you don't mess with them, and someday if they hit a block, yippee yippee. Now that we've went through all the specs, the features, what's left? It's time to get this thing set up in mining. Physical setup, let's go ahead and get this thing set up for mining. First and foremost, as I had mentioned before, I'm not a fan of this type of power supply, and for a couple reasons. Number one, the width and the bulkiness of this. It takes up a lot of extra space, especially when you're using a power strip. I prefer the 2 method where the brick type power supply is in the middle, like the NerdAxe that we just set up. Check out that video up above if you want to see that. It was a 2-piece power supply. And the other option is issue is the length. This is only, I don't know, 3.5 foot long, maybe 4 foot. Whereas the other 2-piece method, you've got 3 feet on one side and then another 3-4 feet on the other side, and you've got tons of space, tons of room. So for this guy, it's a little more of a pain. So we just rigged up a power here, and then we've got this running to our meter so that we can get an exact reading on how much power usage this is going to use. So we're going to plug this guy in first, and then before we plug this in, we're going to set it up just on a nice box to get it going. We're actually 3D printing a nice decentral minimalist Bitaxe stand. I'll show you that real quick on the screen, and I'll put a link down in the description if you want to print your own. That is what both of these Bitaxes back here are using. It's just a nice lean back 3D printed stand, very minimalist as it's titled, and it just holds it on there real nice, makes it real easy to use. It doesn't tip over, really sturdy. So that's what we prefer. All right, so we got our nice ROG Strix box under here, and that's what we're going to use. And now we simply plug this guy in. And right away the fan spools up on that thing. Okay, so right off the bat it says connecting to SSID, my SSID, configuration SSID, Bitaxe_5A9. Next we need to connect this to a mobile device, either a phone, a laptop, a tablet, something where you can reach out and connect to a Wi-Fi network. So we're gonna just use our phone. I'm using an Android for this. We're gonna click our Wi-Fi button up in the top corner. We're going to wait for it to scan for the Wi-Fi network. It should find this guy as a possible Wi-Fi network. And there it is, the Bitaxe_5AD. I'll show you that on the screen real quick. And that's what it comes up as. And then now we're going to click it to connect. It's going to take a second. The phone's going to connect to this guy. And then it'll pop up and say connected without internet, not secured. So now the next thing is you need to actually get into the OS, into the firmware, so that you can see what it's doing and the settings within. So once you're connected to this network, then you open the msftconnecttest.com, and then it will pop up the OS right on your screen. It goes to an AxeOS page, and then you'll click up in the top corner, up here in the top corner, and then that'll go into your settings. And then from your settings, you're gonna put in your actual Wi-Fi SSID that you want this thing running off of. Make sure that it is case specific, any kind of special marks or underscores, make sure that they're all in there. The SSID has to match exactly as it does from your router for your Wi-Fi network, and your password has to be matching exactly as well. Then you can update your Stratum URL, which is your pool address, and it says right here, do not include Stratum plus TCP : // A lot of times people will put that in because they're used to doing it when you're setting up a miner, say a GPU rig or an ASIC in a different system might actually require that. Then you put in your Stratum port. Next, you'll put in your Stratum user, which is your Bitcoin address, your wallet address, and then you can put your worker name. So I would put my Bitcoin wallet address Bitaxe Gamma, just so that whenever it's mining on the pool, when I look at the pool, it'll say Bitaxe Gamma, so you can differentiate this worker from another worker. Then you're gonna put in a Stratum password. A lot of times it's just, you could just use X. You have a default frequency and core voltage in here, and then you have some options for flip screen and invert the fan polarity, which way the fan's spinning, and the automatic fan control. Once you've got all this put in, you hit save, and then you need to restart. I'm not gonna go fully in depth and show you step by step on this because I've done that on a number of other videos already. This one, for example, the Bitaxe Supra 401 and the Bitaxe BM1366 videos, I've got both of those right there, the Bitaxe Ultra 1366 rather. Both of those are fully set up in this video, and it goes in depth, in detail. It shows you how to select a mining pool, how to plug in each and every item into this OS. It's exactly the same setup. And if you have any questions or you have any failures after watching that, just comment down below on either video and say, hey, Alter, my whatever's not working. Could you maybe help troubleshoot? This is what I've got. Sure, I'd be happy to help you. Make sure to comment and tell me what's going on, what you need help with. So once all that stuff's in there, we go ahead and save and restart. We're gonna go ahead and time warp, get all this put in, reboot this, and get it mining, and then we'll go from there. Ready, set, go. And just like that, we are up and mining. This thing has rebooted with all of our settings in there, connected to our Wi-Fi, and then just started hashing away on our network, and it's populating all the stats right here. And there, let's just do a quick glance. We're gonna let it run for a while to get some accurate readings, but it's giving me the local IP address on here, which is usually a 192.168.whatever, and that's how you can connect it directly to this device from a computer on the same network, a phone on the same network, whatever device that has the capability to connect to the same device. If you can open a browser, you can type in the 192, you can go into the AxeOS and you can update, change, tweak, whatever you need to do with this now that it's connected to the network. So right off the bat, it's showing gigahash of 1021, which is 1.021 terahash. The fan's at 6,500 RPM. It's at 60.8 C temperature. It's showing 16.8 watts here, but it's actually using 22 watts at the wall. So that's probably just the inefficiency of the PSU itself. So the total power draw so far is 22 watts at the wall. So first impression, this thing has spooled up quite a bit more. Like, this fan is way more aggressively running than that of one of these other Bitaxes. 1.092 now, so it's about 1.1 terahash on the board, and it's showing 17 watts, but this thing is still, it's still spooling up, it's still going. The heatsink is getting warm. It's definitely getting warm. So yeah, it's interesting. The main thing I want to know is this cooling going to be adequate for this guy? That fan is running way more aggressively than the Supra or the Ultra. So real quick, we're going to check it on the pool, on the actual pool side. Check the BTC address. Make sure that the shares are showing up there. Make sure that they look good. We'll check it in the AxeOS. Again, if you want to see how to do any of that, check out the previous setup video. It will show you all of those ins and outs. All right, so we're looking at it in the pool real quick. In the AxeOS, we went to the local IP address, which mine is 192.168.1.41. We opened the web browser to that local IP. It opens the AxeOS, and it's showing on the OS 1.325 gigahash, so 1.3 terahash right out the gate. And it's showing 41 shares accepted, no rejected. And then of course it's got your power settings. It's showing 16.9 watts. Heat is at 59 Celsius. Fans are at 64%. Man, if this fan goes up to 100%, that thing's gonna be pretty loud for a little guy. And then it shows our pool information. So yeah, now it's back down to 1.2 terahash. So it bounces around, and you can't really get a really good accurate average until you've let it run for some time, but so far so good. The thing's up and running, it's mining, it's beautiful, and personally I love these devices. So let's talk about who this is for and the profitability and whether you should buy. So first and foremost, profitability, in my opinion, you should only be using these for solo mining. And you should be trying to solo mine blocks. You know, you're trying to get blocks and get the entire block reward. You have some options. Do you go for a Bitcoin block that you have 1 in a million chance of hitting? Or do you use one of the alternate coins on the SHA-256 algorithm? You could use Bitcoin Cash or Digibytes or some other coin that's on there, and you have a way better chance of hitting blocks with a way lower profitability. If you're just trying to actually get rewards, that's your option. That's the best option, is to get one of the alternate coins that's on SHA-256 and try to get blocks. Me personally, I'm running all of these, most of my solo miners, on straight Bitcoin, and I'm looking to get that big cash in someday. And if I hit the big cash in, yippee yippee. If I don't, it is what it is. I wasted a lot of electricity and some small amount in the investment for each device. The power usage again on this thing is so little, at 20 some watts, you really don't even notice that on your electric bill unless you're at a really gross electric rate. Then you shouldn't be mining anyway, but I digress. Who are these things for? What is the benefit of a device like these, the Bitcoin solo miners? Well, first and foremost, you can join the network. You're helping support the blockchain, the Bitcoin network, or whichever network you're on. You're out there, you're in the mining sphere, you're joining with like-minded individuals, you're learning, you're getting into the technology. And that's my favorite part about these. It's not the someday I might make it rich. That's an added bonus for me. Maybe someday I hit a block, maybe I don't. But me, I love the technology behind it. I love cryptocurrency, I love blockchain technology, I love mining hardware, I love physical hardware that I can have in my hands that I can tweak and tune. You can try to maximize rewards out of these things, tweaking the frequencies and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, that's the realization. Are you going to get rich? Probably not. Are you ever going to hit a Bitcoin block? Not likely. But there's a chance. There's that small chance, and that's why I love these. The cost of these things, these are $199. The next step down is $150, and that is half the hash rate. Then if you go down to $120, you just get a slight bump down to 400 and some gigahash rather than 600 and some gigahash. So those kind of are scaled evenly, but then there's a massive jump in hash rate to this guy without a massive jump in electricity usage because it's using the latest, greatest, better ASIC chip. If you're going to buy any of the Bitaxes, the NerdMiner, the Lucky Miner, unless you're going for the dirt cheapest, which would be the NerdMiner 2, make sure to check out my video on that guy, then this is what I would advise. This is the route I would go. Either this guy, or if you want to go big boy that uses a lot more electricity, the Canaan Avalon Nano 3, which I've done plenty of videos about that guy. This one's only running 90 watts back here, and it's running about 3 terahash. So that scales pretty closely with this guy. Again, it's not a paid sponsored video. I'm not shilling this product because somebody's paying me to. I'm shilling it because I love the product. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think of the Bitaxe series, the new Gamma compared to some of the other Bitaxes, NerdAxes, Lucky Miners, whatever? Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. Tell me if you think these are a waste of time, a waste of money, or if they're a fun technology and you're down with the Bitaxe. I think that about wraps it up for today's video. If you're new to mining and need some help, make sure to join the Misfit Mining Discord. There's always plenty of seasoned vets willing to help you out. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Smash that like button and subscribe for future content. Thanks for coming along and enjoy the ride.